What? Now you probably have just watched the video. It's not about the nail. And we'll have a little quick conversation here about what that's all about. It's about understanding. It's about getting the other person, not trying to control or shift the other person your direction. Too often, we're trying to move, shift, negotiate, sell, push another individual. Might be your boss, might be your partner, might be one of your children, might be your mom, your dad, might be a friend down at the bar. I don't know where it is, but you're trying to push us person your direction instead of just getting into and understanding that person. I want you to spend time here understanding that person and understanding yourself. A lot of times we're trying to push ourselves to do something, and we've never really even understood what's going on inside of us. And so it doesn't work, and we get frustrated because we've never taken the time just to listen to ourselves, just to dump our thoughts, our feelings, take a thinking report, put it out there, and work on it. So I want you to have that in mind as we go through this course. Preparing for a stressful conversation. Let's talk about it. It really is not that hard to do, but rarely do we take these steps. So let's think about these steps. Imagine yourself in that stressful situation. I got to talk this out with somebody. I've got to go do this thing in court, or I need to go talk to a lawyer, or I need to negotiate for a new phone, or whatever it is. It's just stressing you. Don't want to deal with it. I need to go talk to somebody about a situation I really don't want to talk about. Think about how you feel and why you feel that way. Get in touch with yourself, your own feelings, begin to dump those things down, your thoughts. Why I think this person's stupid. Why are they doing this? I can't believe that I have to deal with this. He just ought to deal with himself. What's going on inside of you? Imagine the other person in that stressful situation. Think about how they feel and why. By now, you have to understand other people don't think and feel the way you do. You think and feel the way you do because of all your experience in your life that's brought you to this point, your filters and your decisions. And they the same, but their life has been different. Even if they were sitting side by side with you, they've experienced it differently. They've heard different pieces of the words, and their emotions would be different. So imagine yourself telling the other person what you want to say. You're going to start out with an apology. You're going to start out with a complaint. You're going to start out with some feedback. You're going to start out with asking a question. Imagine what they're going to say back to you when you do what you do. Now, repeat those steps, as many approaches as you can think of. Try to, if I start with listening, how would I expect them to respond? If I start with a question, if I start with giving a complaint, how would I expect them to respond? And begin to just think that through. And repeat that with as many approaches as you think might work out, and maybe even different situations. I'm going to do this over a cup of coffee. We're going to go down and have a Coke at the Jack in the Box. We're going to go have a Big Mac at McDonald's. We'll go to Casa Taca. We're going to go to Starbucks. We're going to sit in the living room, or we're going to be watching a movie, and I'm going to bring this up in the middle of it. Pick the best approach. Think them through, and then pick the one that you think has the best chance of bringing the two of you to the right point. That's it. Preparing for a stressful conversation is about imagination, and it's about multiplying your imagination until you can come down to that one piece that you think this is the best way to approach it. And then pick the best approach and go out there and deal with the conversation. You're now prepared. You might want to take notes. Think about a couple of key points that you want to get across and a couple of key points that you're listening for. What are you trying to listen? What are you trying to understand about the other person that maybe you've not seen before? All right? Go for it. You can do it. So here's a role play. You need to get with whoever's assigned working with you inside of the course and talk this through. You've had a minor accident with a delivery truck that belongs to the company you work for. The accident was due to sliding on some oil that had been spilled in the parking lot. One of your customers. You're sure it's not your fault, but you need to tell your boss about the truck. And you need to tell the customer about the truck. So let's go to the boss conversation first. You have a lot of different skills that you picked up by now. active listening, asking questions, making a complaint, giving feedback, understanding your feelings, understanding the feelings of others, responding to anger. Now, all of these different areas that we've been working through. If you pretend that's a deck of cards in your hand, and if you have the deck, if you're taking this and you've been given that deck, then take the 3 of those that you think are going to be necessary in this conversation. Maybe you're going to need to do an apology, maybe you need to make a complaint, and maybe you need to do some listening. Now, which card are you going to play first? I want you to make this decision. Which card are you going to play first? How would your boss respond to that card versus one of the other 2? Well, maybe I would start with the other card first. Well, how do I think it would respond to that one? Would it be a favorable response? Would it take me where I need to go? You're preparing for this stressful conversation. Now, make those decisions. Take a few minutes to put your feedback into the question that's going to come after this. It's going to ask you to answer that. And then get with your facilitator and talk about this. That's important that you get with your facilitator and talk about this role play.